This video, I'm going to review our September 2025 expenses, all the income, all the transactions, and the summary because this is the logical next step after my debt confession, which is the previous video, and I want to re-establish a budget that will help our family pay off the debt faster. So my name is Dak, and if you want to follow me in this journey and help keep me accountable, please subscribe to this channel and watch out for the next videos in this series. Let's begin with my income. I am employed and I also have a reselling business with my wife. And so for my W-2 job, this is the gross amount and we get paid bi-weekly. So that's 26 times in a year. And so this is the gross amount. I also received a phone allowance from my employer, and this is a quarterly thing. So I got it in September. That's going to be for the fourth quarter. For the reselling business income for the month of September, this is lower than expected. We only brought home 1,690 for our reselling business. We did have a good number, a good amount of emergencies. They're not totally unexpected, but as you can see, we needed to withdraw some money for our emergency fund for the replacement of our windshield. We also needed to withdraw from our car fund to cover maintenance, particularly replacement of tires and some like 70,000 miles maintenance for our Kia Sedona. This one, just to go through this, my son and I, he is almost a teenager now, and we watched the latest Demon Slayer movie in the theaters, and we were there with a bunch of his friends, and I paid for the ticket for all of us, and then they did have contribution for the food, but I used my card to pay for that, and then they gave me cash for this. And these are just personal money that I ended up using for parking for my employer and then for my reselling business. The total is $13,527.33. Now let's go to the expense summary. The taxes that were deducted directly by HR from my payroll is $529.43. The medical expenses for the whole month is $554.28, and that includes the dental, the health insurance, other deductions, the vision. And before we proceed with the expenses, I want to highlight this part, and I just also started tracking this one. My employer contributes to my 403b or my pension, my retirement fund. So for every payday, this is what they contribute, like 8% of my compensation. There's another 2% match of what I contribute, or up to 2% of my compensation. And then they also cover $32 of my dental per payday. And then, man, I didn't realize how expensive this is, but they also cover $972.35 for my health insurance, and that includes my family in the plan. And there's just a bunch of other coverage there, like insurance and a bunch of other stuff. But for the whole month of September, they covered $2,833.72. I think this is called fringe benefit. I'm just mentioning this because I also want to track all the things that's coming from my employer, and also to get like a fuller view of expenses, particularly related to health insurance and my retirement fund. All right, for savings, we have a high deductible plan for our health insurance, and that comes with the health savings account, which we deposit like $100 per payday. So that's 200, and this is the contribution for my 403b or my retirement fund. And for this month, I also contributed to my children's college fund. So each of them get this amount, and one is bigger because he's gonna be going to college sooner than the other two. We also have a $200 emergency fund. We've been contributing this for a while, but in a future video I'm going to share all the accounts that we currently have and how much we have in emergency fund and all that fun stuff. Our mortgage is $2,780.88. For entertainment, we only spent $101.50, which is not too bad. I've cut cable. We don't have cable, so this is consisting only on NFL Sunday Ticket, Netflix, and a bunch of video rental on Prime Video every now and then for family movie night. For our bills and utilities, $675.42. So let's take a look at the breakdown. All right, our internet fee is $80.67. This one, $263.91. This is in payment of our solar panels, which I'm considering as part of our electricity bill. This is technically a loan that's gonna be paid within like 20 years or 25 years. I don't remember exactly, but I am going to tackle that at a later time. For our home security system, it's $57.74. Our electricity for the month of September was $92.76, and water and sewer is $180.34. And let me jump now to the charity section of my expenses, because we are Christians, and so we also allocate part of our giving to the church as offering. So this one is $153.60, and we also support some family, so we're just lumping it together for giving. And my family, and also like for my wife's family, these two items are there. This will change too, and we'll probably update that for the next few months. There's a $10 donation for a friend who was doing a fundraising, and I'm also supporting a nonprofit locally for $10.53 per month. The total for our charity is $604.45. Now for payments, this is for paying down our debt, whether that's credit card debt or all the loans that we currently have. If we only stick to the minimum payments, it's gonna be $1,000 and $700 or $1,800. But for the month of September, we were able to pay off a little bit more than the target minimum payments. So that's for $2,353.87. If you want to take a look at the breakdown of my debts, my loans, go to the first video in this channel and you'll see that. For the restaurant expenses, we spent $664.28. And just a quick note, we are a family of 5. We kind of enjoy eating out every now and then. I'm not sure if this a large amount or not, so please let me know in the comments section if this is a like an average, a little bit high, or I don't think this is low at all, because for a full month $664 is kind of a lot, so we'll need to make adjustments on that. There's a restaurant expense here, and the largest one is the K-Pot restaurant. This is a buffet of Korean barbecue, and man, I love we love this, especially our kids. They love the baby octopus, they love the pork belly, and man, it's really good. My wife and I also go on lunch dates because of the schedule of our kids, whether that's going to piano, going to gymnastics for our youngest, and going to football for our eldest. It's sometimes difficult to just stick to home cooked meals, and so I think that's part of the reason why we spent $600 plus on restaurants. Now for our grocery expenses, $1,268.02. I believe this is reasonable for a family of 5. But this one's not only food, but it includes household supplies as well. So let's take a look. For groceries, we're in Central Texas, so we go to HEB a lot. We go to Walmart. We are Filipino Americans, so sometimes we also go to the Asian supermarket. For transportation, let me just tell you, our gas expenses have just increased so much when our son started going to football, started going to cross country running. It's like we've been driving so much. And even the younger ones are going to piano, going to gymnastics. It's just a lot. We're in that stage of life where it's so busy. Our gas expenses were $286.87. We have two cars at home. We ended up needing to replace our windshield because a year ago there was a small rock or pebble maybe that hit the windshield of our Kia Sedona minivan, and then because it's hot, I just noticed it like maybe 2 weeks ago. The crack spread, and I did not feel comfortable doing that, especially if we're traveling as a family. So we spent $420 for that windshield replacement. We needed to replace the wheels, and so that's another $685.34. It's like, ugh, a lot of expenses. And so just for gas, dude, we've it's it's a lot. Yeah, managing a family of five with active kids, it's a lot. So for the education, this is mainly for the lunch for our kids. And now that our middle schooler plays football, then sometimes we need to pay for game tickets when we want to watch. That also includes some fees at school. The piano lesson for our second is $100, and for gymnastics, it's $130. For shopping, we don't usually do a lot of shopping at home. Most of our clothes are, believe it or not, thrifted actually, because my wife and I are resellers, so we do buy a lot of secondhand and used clothes, and so we end up getting a lot of really good clothes as well for ourselves, and so we don't spend a lot of money on shopping. But in this case, the most expensive expense that we spent is running shoes for my son, and man, I think we bought an On Cloud for him for $129.87. It's like, again, a lot of these school activities are super expensive. And then for home improvement, I did have a project to make some shelves for the garage, and so that's $201.32. For subscriptions, this is for Monarch Money, which is an app, a software that tracks all your expenses and income automatically. I'm not yet very good at using it, but I intend to learn more. Now, for this business, these are just reselling expenses that I ended up using my personal card for, but I do have a business card, and these ones are reimbursed to me from the reselling business. And this one's gifts and travel, these are pretty much negligible and almost like miscellaneous expenses. I believe where we as a family can make adjustments is definitely on the restaurant and grocery budget, because those are the ones that are pretty expensive. I don't really expect the transportation expense to go up high again. Without the 1,000, almost $1,200 expense for the windshield and the tires, I think it's gonna be a manageable budget level. Hopefully, October 2025 will look a little bit better compared to September.